Hello everyone and welcome back to my Cakespiration series. This is video number 2. In case you didn't catch video number 1, I'll link it below so you can look at that because I will be referencing something from this video to video number 1. And I'll just be going over a few things that I found at H-E-B that I feel that you could benefit a lot from because the price point is great. And I will also be talking about social media and how it affects new bakers or how it affects people just in their general life, because I feel like lately everybody portrays a perfect life on social media, and when you're new to it or when you're new to a business, new to baking, and you see how everybody else's pictures are perfect and everybody else lives this life that is just so magical, you kind of start putting yourself down because you feel like you should be living your life like that, but in reality, it's not real. So, before I start rambling on about that, let's get to the products because I'm really excited to show you. So excited that I can't even talk. Let me show you. The first thing is this Nature's Eats almond flour. It's a 2-pound bag. And the reason why I'm so excited about this is because prior to finding this, I had been buying the Bob Red Mills, I think that's what it's called. And it was about $11 or $12 for 9 ounces. Yeah. And this is a 32-ounce bag for $11. In case you did watch my first video, you might remember that I mentioned that I spent tons and tons of money buying tons and tons of almond flour, and this was the brand. So I literally bought about 15 bags of this flour when I was experimenting with macarons. I haven't made any since, but I will soon because I have 3 bags of this from the previous experiment that are just sitting in my pantry. So maybe my family will be getting macarons for Christmas and Thanksgiving and their birthday and Valentine's Day and the rest of next year. So I can keep practicing, and because they're the only people that eat the stuff that I experiment with. Anyway, let's move on to the second thing. This second thing, in case you don't know, I don't think I've told anyone. My husband knows, but I haven't mentioned it on social media. I haven't posted it on Facebook, and I don't really tell people because I don't know. I mean, it's not embarrassing or anything, but it's just weird. But every time I go to the store, whether it's TJ Maxx, if it's Ross, if it's H-E-B, even if it's online, I will buy cookie cutters and not use them. I have tons and tons of cookie cutters that are still in the package that I haven't used simply because I like the shape, and I tell myself, oh, let me buy that cute phone cookie cutter that I'm never gonna use, but eventually I'll need it. So if you're watching this video and you want funky cookies, let me know because I probably have a funky cookie cutter. Anyways, so you might have guessed from the little talk, it is this little cookie cutter. What is this, like a bucket? I don't know, but I have a thing for metal cookie cutters. I totally like the plastic 3D cookie cutters that a lot of the Instagram people sell, but I love metal cutters because I feel like they give you such a sharp edge on your cookies. And it's basically this tub, and it has 26 cutters, so basically the whole alphabet. This is how the top looks, and it is $20 at H-E-B. I bought it about a year ago, and I know that they still carry it because I shop at H-E-B every single week, and I pass by the aisle just to see if they marked it down, maybe on clearance for like $5, so I can buy another bucket just to have it in case these ever mess up, you know. But anyways, the only thing that I really dislike, I don't want to say hate because that's a really strong word, but I really dislike the letter G in this cutter set or whatever, and you'll see what I mean. Let me show you. So this is the letter G that comes in that bucket. Now, if you need a minute to find out what's wrong, that's fine. But that does not look like a G. I'm only doing this because I don't think you guys can really see it on my face. I hope you can see it on this board. That doesn't look like a G, Wilton. If you're watching this and you care about your customer reviews, I don't like this G. What is that? Now, at first, when I opened the package, I was like, maybe it's a C. Because that kind of looks like a C, and if you want to, you could use it like a C. But let me show you the C. And I don't know why I'm still holding this. I think I like how that side of my face looks. Okay, anyway. This is why I don't do a lot of these, because I get sidetracked and I just start talking about random things, but hold on. I just had the C and now I can't find it. Great. So if by this point you don't think I'm crazy and you're still watching, thanks. My husband just kind of looks at me like I'm weird sometimes, but that's fine. Okay, so here's the C. Right? And here's the G that wanted to be a C. Not related. These are not even the same. So if you ever do end up getting this set and you have to use the G, what I did that one time that I did use it is I cut it, and when I placed it on the baking mat, I just fixed this to kind of like, I don't know if you can see, but like curve in. I don't want to mess up the cutter, because even though I don't like the G, I don't want to mess it up. So when you cut it, you kind of just like have to like, let me show you with my finger. So when you cut it, instead of having it like this, you'll just like, with a little knife, a palette knife, you'll just have to like bring the point down. I hope that makes sense. And I love Wilton, don't get me wrong. I just don't like the G. Okay, enough about the G. Social media. I feel like that's a very wide subject, and it's really hard for me to talk about it because I don't even know how to start talking about it. And basically what I'm trying to say is, as a new baker, when I first was engaging in social media, I felt like I had to be like everybody else. I felt like all my products and all my photos and everything that I was putting out had to be a certain way or look perfect all the time. And a lot of the feelings that pressure brought on was negativity, because I remember I used to stroll through people's Instagrams and tell myself, my photos never will look like that. I don't have a white kitchen. I don't have a white background. I don't have an awesome camera. I don't have this, I don't have that. And I was barely 2 weeks into the game, people, and I already wanted to be this like amazing cake person or cookie person. And I used to get very upset when things wouldn't work the way that I wanted them to. And I slowly started to realize that a lot of the things that you see on social media aren't what they seem. And not in a negative way, but what I'm trying to say is a lot of people will post their kind of like my workspace for the day, and it all looks flawless. It looks amazing all the time. It looks like nothing ever happened. And I will insert a photo of how making 1 dozen cookies looks like. And it's not even a big mess, but that's how it really looks. And I feel like a lot of us are tricked into thinking that the process is flawless, and we hurt ourselves in the process because customers see that. Customers see those flawless, like making buttercream, and there's no stains on you, there's no powdered sugar flying everywhere. And I feel like they're like, oh, it's easy peasy, let me call and order a cake for tomorrow. And that's not how it works. And that's one of the reasons why I started the Truthful Thursday post on my Instagram, because I feel like sometimes as new bakers, you're trying to find people, or you're trying to find photos of people's work when they first started. And I used to do this all the time. I used to sit on people's Instagrams that had thousands and thousands of followers and scroll all the way to the bottom because I wanted to see how bad their work was in the beginning. And that probably sounds weird, but that actually encouraged me more than the awesome stuff they were putting now. I don't know if that makes sense, but seeing the ugly photos, seeing the ugly work actually inspired me. It helped me to get through whatever I was feeling at the moment. And that's the reason why I started the Truthful Thursday on my Instagram. And I remember one of the most impactful lessons that I've learned in this journey is actually a tip that one of my close friends brought to my attention. So she came over to my house one time and we did a photo shoot. And it's actually a photo shoot of that picture that you see at the end of most of my videos. She's the photographer for that. And, you know, we were just talking about random things like life or whatever. And she said, you know, I've always wanted to tell you something, but I don't want to hurt your feelings. Like, I don't want you to be hurt. And I was like, oh man, you know, my cake is dry, or, you know, something, or my house is dirty. I thought about all those things except what she was gonna tell me. So she pulls up her phone and she's strolling through my Instagram feed, and she says, you know, your work is good, but your photos are horrible. And I said, what do you mean? You know, like, they're awesome. They're on my counter, and, you know, I got as much light as possible, and I think that they're awesome. And for a moment, I was kind of like heartbroken, but thankful at the same time. Because if she would have never told me, I would have never learned that a lot of the people that I followed and a lot of the people that I used to see photos by and say, like, I'm never gonna be like them, I would have never realized that you can do it too. You just have to learn a few tricks. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically, it's just the tricks of lighting, the tricks of where to take your photo, the backgrounds that you're gonna use. And, you know, when she was talking about all these things, I realized that for a long time, I used to wake up and immediately go to my phone, and I still do, and look at Instagram and feel like I had to meet a certain standard. And I also felt at the same time that I was never going to reach that. But what I'm trying to tell you is, don't give up, because the right person is going to come along and they're going to share with you their tricks and their tips, and you're gonna get there. Because we all started with horrible work. The person that tells you that they always made amazing cakes and amazing cookies, or the person that tells you that they never get nervous in front of a crowd, is lying. Okay? Maybe you needed to hear that today, but social media is not all that it's hyped up to be. Social media will not define who you are as a person. And don't let somebody else's style, or don't let somebody else's way of doing cakes or cookies or things overshadow what you're trying to do. You know, so when you're starting out, the thing that I also struggled a lot with, because everybody talked about it, oh, this is my style and this and that. And I used to bang my head on the wall because I was like, I don't have a style. I don't know what my style is. I don't even know where to start, you know? So in the beginning, you're not going to have a style of anything. You're not going to have a style of cakes. You're not going to have a style of photos. You're not going to have a style of anything. Probably not even a style in clothes like me. But you will get through it. You need to take it one day at a time. You need to remind yourself that a lot of the photos that you see are edited. A lot of the photos that you see are photoshopped. A lot of the things that you see on social media are not going to define you. You need to remember that. You need to tell yourself, Cynthia, one day I'm going to find my style. One day I am going to take awesome photos. One day I am going to make amazing, I don't know, cakes or whatever. Just don't give up. Don't give in to the whole social media thing and think that your life is over because your feed doesn't look like somebody else's. Don't feel like it's the end of the world if you don't have a style, like if you don't have a certain thing that you can say that you do. You know, a lot of people have judged me because they say, well, wouldn't it be better if you just concentrate on making cakes or just cookies? Because I made cakes, cookies, cake pops, macarons, you know, whatever. I have even made pies before. But if you feel like that is your style to make everything, then that's your style and the world can deal with it. And whoever wants to watch you on Instagram can deal with it. Whoever is okay with it will be. And they'll be your friends. You don't need to feel like social media is the end of your career. It's just the beginning. Just keep doing research, keep, you know, asking questions and reading things online and informing yourself about how to do something that you really like on social media. Like a lot of people have asked about the photographs, and that was one of the reasons why I brought it up. So I'm actually working on a video for you guys to show you how I get my pictures to look the way that they do. And I also did this on purpose. Like if you see the brown, well, I think that's brown or like cream color, whatever. A lot of people think that my house is white. And a lot of people think that I photograph my pictures like on a counter, on a kitchen counter or whatever, and I don't. So what I'm actually showing you in this video is like a little spoiler alert for my next tutorial, which is how to, you know, make your photos look like a famous Instagram feed photo. I don't even know why I said that, but anyways. So I'm gonna show you where I take my photos and you'll realize exactly why I just said all the things that I said. That social media is not what it makes it seem. My house is not white. My countertops are not white. And this is where I take the photos. Look, let me try to get you guys out of this contraption without dropping you. Ow. So this is where I take the photos, and it's basically a wall, and my countertops are brown. So if you're really interested in finding out how my photos look the way that they do, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And I love, what's it called? I always forget what it's called. Law and Order. I love Law and Order, so that's what I'm watching. So if you're interested in watching how I make my photos look the way that they do, stay tuned to the next tutorial. Thanks so much for watching my rant, my craziness. And I promise I'll get it together because I sound like my head is all over the place. And yeah.